Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the VHS Tapes podcast. Here's another episode of our MCU discussion. So we are on Thor now.
Yeah.
All right, let's see my notes here. So it's kind of funny. What's the guy that plays Odin? I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, wait. Shit. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He's prolific.
Yeah, I'm just blanking for a minute here.
I'm blanking too. Don't worry. I'm having a senile moment. He's Hannibal Lecter. What's his name? My dad would be ashamed of me.
Shit, It's always when I'm thinking of something specific, I just don't remember it. All right, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that.
I was thinking of something else. All right, he actually despises having been in these movies. Like he thinks it's just garbage dialogue, which I get it. It's kind of the same attitude that now I'm forgetting this other guy's name. Who was Alec Guinness? Alec Guinness didn't like being in the original Star Wars movies because it was like garbage dialogue and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't what he was used to. Like he was into like bigger performances and stuff like that.
Al Guinness was a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like you still did it. Both of you guys still did a fantastic job. Like the opening monologues in each movie with Odin like giving a history lesson or a speech or something. It's like I'm hanging on every word. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he was merely just like the narrator guy for the opening of every Marvel movie, like I'd be okay with that. But yeah.
Yes. So yeah, very interesting that he wasn't a fan of the dialogue. It's
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like high quality movies. They're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the MCU is like really good, well done stuff, and then yeah, unfortunately, most of the Thor movies are kind of like okay or just flat out bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Because Thor's an interesting character.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
the
yeah.
and the personal parts. Oh, sorry. And the parts we get to explore of Thor, where we get, what's the main actor's name? This is the VHS podcasting the Dementia Award, by the way.
Yeah.
No, I can't believe his name's escaping.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Dear God, shoot me! I can't believe I forgot his name.
I could do that with this model, but unfortunately, I can't reach my hip.
Damn.
I'm actually sitting in a chair, hence why my arms are like this.
And he does a good job in like the tender moments. And
Yeah.
Overall, I think when it comes to Thor, the quality it's kind of like the Captain America First Avenger kind of thing, where it's like it knows its campy roots, so it doesn't try to like be too serious. I think that's one of the things about Thor: The Dark World is it didn't lend to that campiness, and instead we got a really brooding thing. But that's another episode. I have actually a very big opinion stuff about that one. Big opinion stuff, man. Really, really good English today.
What was it? The second one you said?
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World. I've got a couple opinions about that one.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways I enjoyed it a bit more, but in others it's like, yeah, I don't like this and I don't like this and this needed to be done better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll get to that. That's
I'm not.
Let's see. I'm trying. Oh no, probably next couple months because I don't know if we got time for another MCU movie this year with all the shit we got lined up. But yeah, anyway, that won't be because we got Captain America: The First Avenger, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, and then we have the Dark World. So it's a couple away. But yeah, we'll try to focus on some of these a little more so we can get through it. All right. Yeah, the opening flashback scene on Midgard between the Frost Giants and the Asgardians. I find it funny how in every flashback scene and across all of Thor movies, the Asgardian soldiers are somehow useful and competent. Meanwhile, in present day, they're trash. They're worse than stormtroopers. Uh, Also, knowing Odin, it's kind of odd that despite knowing that at this point in time his son is a complete reckless, bloodthirsty asshole, he almost makes him the king of Asgard. That is actually does a jump deck to like present day of this movie.
Yeah, it's
Because like
hmm?
the beginning of the movie is literally he's just about to crown him king of Asgard. So it's just like, were you sure about that?
Yeah. Anyone more competent? Hell, probably like a pet or something would have been more competent. But
Yeah,
so Odin was like, nope, this my reckless son runs in the family, I guess, if you
yeah,
know Odin's mythology.
yeah. Now, of course, there's a lot of inaccuracies to mythology, like they do their
Or
own thing. But there is one that particularly triggers me is in this movie and then also in a lot of the comics and stuff. Uh, Laufey is a male frost giant, but in mythology, Laufey is Thor's mother. Like,
oh,
why did you just make him a guy? Make her a guy. I mean, like, of all things you could have changed. Like, I get some of the other things, but why? I don't know why they did that. It just seems kind of weird.
yeah.
However, it's a blink and you miss it little detail. But you know when Thor like he gets angry after like Odin's like, no, you're not going to Asgard. You're not just going to go kill all these guys. He gets all pissy, and he just like gets angry and he just like flips a table, like a whole
Mhm.
dining table. You'll notice some of the bowls that spill are these golden apples, and those are supposed to be actually be the golden apples of the Dune, or however it's pronounced.
Oh.
Which in mythology, that's what the gods eat to slow their aging and prolong life. And I assume it's also true here.
Mm.
Hope they get some seeds when they go to Midgard later in the MCU, so they can keep growing those.
Oh
Otherwise,
yeah.
Thor's going to start aging pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. In
But at the
aging
same time,
Thor, hmm.
at the same time, Asgardians get stronger when they age.
I think an aging Thor would be an interesting actually dive into his character. Because you become like his journey from where he began, where he was reckless, and now he's becoming a lot more like his father, but killing less people.
Yeah. All right, I gotta sit forward and shut my fan off.
Okay, I thought you were about to say shit your pants. Actually, I was like, damn. Okay.
Oh, that too. That too. Don't worry, we'll get there. Uh all right. So yes, eventually Thor's just like, we're gonna go to Jotunheim anyway. Heimdall just kind of lets them go because he's upset somebody slipped past his all-seeing eye, or eyes rather.
Yeah.
Uh,
Story travels.
um, it
If
also, oh, he just casually mentions like, because Volstagg asked like, as they're like starting to up the Bifrost system, and it's like, hey, why don't you just leave it, open, and we'll just come back to where it the portal is and whatever. He's like, oh, can't leave it open because it would effectively become a planet destroying beam, and you immediately it just cuts over to Loki, and you just kind of like you just see the light bulb turn on. It's like, I have an idea, or should I say, I have an idea. I gotta say it like him.
Now Loki's Tom Hiddleston, right?
Correct. There you go. We remembered somebody.
Damn. Okay. Honestly, in all the Thor movies, or at least the ones he's in, I love the way he plays the character. It's so good. I think he's one of the best parts because he can go like play it really like cool, and then he can go really intense.
Oh yeah. Like he steals the show in every single one. Um, and also, eventually we'll get to it. The Loki series. He was great in that. That was one out of the few shows they've made. I'd say that was like the best.
Damn.
So yeah, some of the other ones is kind of oof. Like we're not. I think out of what we're going to cover Loki, WandaVision. Um, I think we decided we probably won't do Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like maybe we'll just like when it comes to Captain America 4, we'll just do like a little short like summary of that.
I might end
It's
up
worth
watching some of it.
What now?
I might watch some of it because
Yeah, it's a good show. It's just kind of it could have been like 3 episodes. Honestly, they could have gotten away with that. It's just like I cut a bunch of things out that were like, if this isn't like really interesting to talk to, we'll just skip it because we'd like to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I skipped out on was Miss Marvel because that was just so fucking boring, and it was a disappointment because I like. It's kind of sad that I have the opinion that the what's her name? Shit, forget. Oh my god, I can't remember anybody's name today.
I think there's a gas leak in this building.
Yeah, perhaps, even though it's well ventilated. Oh, Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
She was in that Avengers game, and while that game is not, it's really not that great. And its campaign was nice. The story, at least, the gameplay, not so much. It was pretty average. And I liked her character in that. Like you get to like the story kind of takes place mostly from her perspective, and it was well done. Then I see the show and I was like, oh, this will be nice. I get to see like a different interpretation of it, where she's like just coming into her powers, not just like already had them for a couple of years. And it was just fucking boring. And yeah. We will talk about She-Hulk though, because that was such a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah.
It was also bad, but it was like you have to watch it to see the fucking chaos unfold bad.
So like a car crash in slow motion kind of deal.
Yes. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked as we usually do.
So Thor travels to Jotunheim to confront
Mm-hmm.
Laufey, accompanied by Loki, childhood friend Sif, and Warriors.
The
3.
Warriors 3.
Yeah, Volstagg, Vondrol, Hogun. Man, I butchered those.
Well, you got it mostly right. Volstagg, Fandral, and Hogan.
Yeah.
There you go. Like close enough.
Oh, okay. Okay. A battle ensues until Odin intervenes to save the Asgardians, destroying the fragile truce between the two races. So basically, Thor just fucks shit up for Odin beyond repair, almost at this point.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
He's a mess.
Yeah. Little things I want to bring up from that before we move on is like they come up to some Jotuns and it's like after a little pissing contest and they're about to leave. This one Jotun's like, "Yeah, run home, little princess." And Thor, just having been misgendered, he lashes out and just starts kicking their asses. There's another like kind of goofy exposition bit, Volstagg gets grabbed by one of them, and like he gets like the nastiest freezer burn in history. And he goes, "Don't let him touch you." And then like 2 seconds later, Loki gets grabbed, but instead of getting the burn, it just like freezes and shatters his armor, and then he starts turning blue. And he's just like, that's that's interesting.
Yeah, he was having an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I thought, that little princess thing was part of Thor 2, so I didn't mention it. I kind of get the beginning of Thor 1 and Thor 2 mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the joke was repeated or something or similar.
Maybe I just forget all of 2, so I just think it's 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's still important because it does introduce certain elements that will pay off later, but mostly it was just, here's the second Infinity Stone. There you go.
Oh boy.
That's about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanos and his kidney stones.
And the other main thing it gave us was like the more or less finalized design for Mjolnir, because it changes appearance between this movie, Avengers, and Dark World, and then it's pretty much the same from Dark World onwards, and it actually looks the best at that point. Yeah.
So it sets some standards.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. So yeah, after Odin shows up, takes him back to Asgard. They bicker a little bit, and Odin just strips Thor of his powers and literally his armor, and just yeets him all the way to Midgard or Earth. And at this point, this is when he actually enchants the hammer with the worthiness thing. So before, it's kind of like just a mythology. It just had to be, you had to be an owner of it or really strong. However, it was still like, it was, my controller's being stupid again. Great. It was, come back to your hand if you were the owner. Everyone else would be able to pick it up, but like it's kind of gonna be hard to hold on to that when Thor summons it and it just rips your fingers right off of your hand. So yeah, I do like that this kind of shows Odin knows somewhere deep down Thor is going to understand his lesson, because otherwise, why would he toss Mjolnir down to Earth with him?
Exactly.
Loki, when he does show up later, does say like, "Oh, he was just being cruel, putting it so close to your reach and whatever." But like, nah, he did this on purpose. Like, he's smart. He knew Thor was gonna snap out of it. I love when Thor wakes up in the hospital. It's like he's still pretty strong, but it's funny how he's brought down by literally someone just giving him a sedative in the ass. Like you literally just see them just like pull the hospital gown aside and just
right into his blood.
Yeah, a bunch of locals find Mjolnir and they start a whole party trying to pick it up, but nobody can. Not even Stanley's truck is worthy. Wow. And then you get the little scene from the Iron Man 2 post credits where Coulson comes up and he's like, "We found it, sir." But yeah, I think my controller issue here is like if it gets a little too sweaty from my hands, and then it's just like breaks, because like what I'm doing is I'm holding my hand out, and you should be able to see like the difference. I'm doing like the wrong. Oh, now it's snapping out of it. Trying to make a liar out of me, piece of shit. But yeah, a little too much gets on the sensors and it screws up. But that's what I get for having to suffer with the Quest 2. Okay.
So Coulson's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I like the dynamic with him, and like, because he, like, Shield basically is trying to like control or contain the Avengers before it happens at this point. But then it's like once the Avengers happens, it's like a struggle with control. But like Coulson the entire time is just fucking toying with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
Thor's
true.
going to be if Thor's going to be a threat or not. Like, it's after the fact that they start writing contingency shit on each of them, and they're like, you know what, these guys turned out to be okay, but we'll keep tabs on them because we might need them if intergalactic war happens to happen, and
Hmm.
yeah, it does pay off.
I love
Uh,
the intergalactic horror.
but yeah, you are right. Like, yeah, after Avengers, it's just kind of like, how the hell we can't contain these guys? They're too powerful. Like, they could take out all of Shield on and have no issue.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's mostly they just for a while they just respect Fury. He's just a regular guy with fighting skills, and that's about it.
And he's
But
Samuel L.
they
Jackson.
respect him. Yes, of course. All right, so Thor learns that Mjolnir is there, and I wonder, like, I kind of wish they had put it in. Like, I would have loved to seen if he's just like learns that it's there, and he just like reaches out to try to summon it, and then just like it doesn't come to him, and then he's like, then goes to go get it. He just assumes he has to go pick it up, which I'm just like, you could have just summoned it back to you. It, he doesn't even know about the worthiness enchantment thing yet. It's just goes back to its owner.
Mm.
So I'm just like, that would have been interesting. It also would have clued in. Well, I mean, we already knew he wasn't going to pick that thing up, but it would have added a little context clue. Like, yeah, it's not going to let him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it could have been like played as a gag, even where he just reaches out his hand and keeps doing it. Keeps doing
yeah,
it.
and then the rest of them are just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to summon Mjolnir." And then, I mean, that could have played more into when Selvig, how he's like, he goes and gets the book after about Norse mythology and just like, look at this. This guy's fucking crazy. He thinks he's Thor, and that would have also paid off better at the end when he does get it back, and they're like, "Oh, you really are that guy."
Hmm.
Um, so it's funny. Darcy's always simping over how muscly Thor is at first, but
Yeah.
to be fair, it's Chris Hemsworth. It's a good looking dude.
Chris Hemsworth
Uh,
is like chiseled marble.
Pretty much, and like as much as like I like pretty much all the movies except for Love and Thunder. But like honestly, Love and Thunder, he had like the best physique yet. Like he trained really hard to get into shape for that disaster of a movie.
Oh yeah. And they put it to
Uh,
decent use at least with his
yeah.
muscles. With his
Oh yeah.
muscles, I'm meaning, not the script, because that movie is another topic in its own. I,
Oh
I
yeah.
I'm gonna end up actually rewatching that
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it
because
on Disney Plus so I don't have to purchase it.
oh I love the availability of not having to watch it because of Disney Plus. Not watch it in like or buy it.
Yeah.
That was mean. But yeah, it's
All
like
right.
we veered off again thanks to me.
No, no,
So
no, no. You're fine. Fine.
let's see. Okay, what bit are we? Where he goes and he's Thor lands in Mexico. Talks about how muscly he is, right? Yeah, that's
Yes.
where we're.
Yes.
And yeah, this character Darcy. What's your opinion?
I mean, she is a little like I don't know, annoying or cringe sometimes, but like it's in an endearing way.
Yeah, it's like your awkward friend kind of endearing.
Yeah, and yeah, she was in this one. She's in Dark World. She was not in. Whoop! There I go, hitting the seat. She was not in Ragnarok, but like, so was like that didn't even take place on Earth for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
They did. She did appear in WandaVision and I think something else. I forget. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, back on Asgard, Loki goes back into the weapons vault and he picks up the casket and he does turn blue and questions Odin like, "Who am I?" And Odin reveals like, "You were originally left to die on Jotunheim during the battle from early in the movie, centuries ago." And he took him in. And during the arguing, Odin ends up just falling into the Odin sleep, which I hate that. Why they have to call it that?
Odin sleep.
Like so Odin's father, Bor, Thor's grandfather. If he had this same thing, did they call it the Bor sleep? When Thor goes through it, are they going to call it the Thor sleep? Like, why isn't it like, the All Father's slumber or something? Even that's kind of cheesy, but at least it's just fits for everybody who has the title, and you
Yeah.
don't have to change the name every time.
Yeah, or you could be like the Asgardian sleep or some it doesn't even need to have sleep in it. You could just like, oh no.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's some I like how kind of cheesy this movie is. It's funny. Like
yeah, it's
when
amazing.
like talking back to when he gets disowned by his father temporarily, that scene's both good with Anthony Hopkins acting, but like the emotions doing in it is kind of like awkward and like stilted. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I like how when I was pitching like, let's continue the MCU stuff. Like, we'll do like really short episodes. Like, here we are. We're like, the recording's at 35 minutes. I mean, we probably took like 10, 15 minutes to get set up, but fucking damn. Actually, no, more like 5 or 10. But still,
Still,
uh,
yeah. A little longer than we were expecting, but
yeah,
the thing is like it's a fun movie, so discussing it's always fun.
yeah. While Odin's in the Odin sleep, Loki takes the throne in his place, and he does turn up where Thor is being kept prisoner. Oh wait, I skipped a bit. Yeah, Thor went to go try to get the hammer back, and he rips through security like they're made of paper, except for one guy, but still takes him out. Tries to lift Mjolnir, but he's not worthy. They actually introduce Hawkeye in this because he gets called in. Coulson specifically says, "I need eyes up high with a gun," and Hawkeye just like, now I'm taking this bow. It's like, good job, you're not even listening. This fucking controller again. I don't want to make the Ahego face. I want to open the hand. Anyway. So yes, I always forget Hawkeye was in it until I see the scene because it's like there and like they don't do anything with him for the rest of the movie.
I sometimes forget about Hawkeye, period.
Yeah.
I have
Not gonna,
nothing against Jeremy Renner. That's him, right?
yes.
I think he's a good actor. I think he's a gentleman. I just the character Hawkeye itself is what I just don't think is
Yeah.
too memorable. I don't think they knew how to write him until a certain point.
Yeah. They did good in the Hawkeye series. That was actually I wasn't expecting much, but that was actually pretty good. It does tie up there's some tie up stuff tied up from the Black Widow movie and where he went after Endgame and everything. It was good. I liked it. I think we're covering that. Maybe I don't know.
I'd be down.
Let's see. Oh yeah, when they take all of Jane's equipment, Darcy is just complaining about her iPod, and I'm like, it's 2011. Don't iPods just not exist anymore? Like,
I think
isn't everything an iPhone at that point?
I think that's when they were phasing out the iPods. But also,
Damn, yeah.
speaking of 2011, it's kind of strange to think this movie came out the same year Skyrim came out.
Yeah. At least this movie didn't get remastered 20 times.
uh,
Uh,
Thor Special Edition,
yeah.
where they add some CG in the background or something. It
Okay.
basically just be like Star Wars.
Okay. Right now, don't give Disney ideas because right now we're at a point where Disney is like, we're thinking about getting a lot of AI stuff to be done, so we can basically just fire a bunch of people, and everyone's like, "Fuck you!" Pretend I'm giving the middle finger because I can't with this model. Uh,
Oh, so right now, just a little context for everyone. The writer's strike is happening right now. It's
Still happening because we
yeah.
mentioned it before.
Oh yeah, okay,
It
so it's still happening.
This is. Let me get the date for you. August 10th. Oh shit, we did it. August 10th. Obviously this doesn't come out till I think November, but as we're recording it, it's August 10th. It's the 2-year anniversary of the podcast.
Oh hot damn. Okay, cool. Shit. 2 years? It
Yeah.
feels wow. It kind of feels longer, strangely enough.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. We definitely need to do like a celebratory video or some shit. We
We
can
should
even
do Yeah,
hmm?
we should do that definitely next year. Like try to schedule something for that day in particular.
Mhm.
And then keep doing that because I completely forgot about it until I got the notification like today. I'm like, yo, it's what? I just made a quick announcement in the server. That was all. Join the Discord, people, please.
Oh yeah.
Also, if you're on VR chat, you can look up. I just created today, as well as I was recording the VHS tapes podcast group. I'll put an image over here somewhere of it.
Oh, here, I actually let me join that as well because that's cool.
Yeah, I invited so far just you and Sully because like they're the only people I know from Discord that are on there.
Hmm.
Well, originally from Discord. All right.
Sounds cool. Yeah, so
Yeah.
check that out. Check out the Discord.
Oops.
Comment comment in the YouTube channel how much you like sushi or something. I don't know.
Um.
Sushi's good.
Oh no. What's happening to me?
I think you're having some sort of exorcist kind of thing.
No, my thing's
If
still going.
if
Am
your
I
head
move?
starts
Am I?
turning around, what?
Am I moving?
Yes, you are.
Oh shit! Hang on. My little excess overlay crashed, so
Oh no.
I can't see anything. Well, I can see the game. I just can't see the fucking all the windows I had up. All
Oh
right.
no.
I think that's my computer giving me a signal to like, okay, we need to get this moving along.
Yeah.
All right. I was so concerned that everything else broke. Okay, everything's still recording, so that's good. That's a good sign. I just lost my windows as well. All right, let me bring this back up. Well, I'll cut to when I'm done with this. All right, we're back now. Where was I?
So he tears
Yes.
through the shield security like
Yeah,
construction
yeah,
paper.
yeah, I'm past that. All right, so this is where Loki shows up to talk to Thor, and he's like, "Oh, Odin is dead. All the drama and threat of war was too much for him, and it's just a lie." He's like, "Oh, well, he's never gonna hear about him. Yeah, he's banished here permanently." Then he goes back after having done that, and Selvig does come up. He gives Shield a bullshit story that Thor is Dr. Donald Blake, complete with a fake ID card. He's just a fitness nut on steroids that went nuts after they took his work. And Coulson lets them go, even though they immediately see on their monitors, like, this is a fake ID. He's like, let's see where this goes. And then Heimdall allows Sif and the others to go to Midgard against Loki's wishes, saying, oh, I can't open the bridge to you. But the thing is, the way their Bifrost works is you put a sword in this thing, it turns everything on. And he's like literally the gatekeeper of the Bifrost and like the owner of the sword. He puts it in such a way that it like dramatically drops into place after he's walked out of the room. So it's like, well, you still kind of did it. Oh, I'm not locked in place anymore. That's embarrassing. There we go. But yeah, so he still broke loyalty or whatever bullshit he was on about. But I mean, justified. But come on. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm letting you go.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
No, it's all good. It's all
yes. Good. Then Loki freezes Heimdall for his treachery and sends the destroyer down to kill Thor. All of the, Sif and the Warriors 3, they try to stop it, but it shrugs off literally anything thrown at it. Coulson even initially thinks it's actually no. One of the Shield agents is like, "Oh, is that one of Stark's?" And like they just assume it's an Iron Man suit. But Thor decides to put itself in front of it and like tries to reason with Loki through it because there's some magic radio link to whoever's running the thing. Loki's not interested and just has it bash Thor upside the head, and effectively it kills him right there. But because of his act of selfishness to protect his friends and Earth as well, because this thing would have totaled Earth probably. He becomes worthy again. Mjolnir comes back to him and revives him, and he defeats the Destroyer. Before he returns to Asgard, he does order Coulson to return Jane's stuff, and Coulson's just like, all right, what are you gonna do? When the literal god of lightning, just god of thunder, is just like, yeah, give her shit back, or you're gonna get this to the face.
Exactly.
And you get with Jane, he's just like, oh yeah, I'll be back for you. I gotta go deal with my shithead brother.
With fellow Asgardians to confront Loki in Asgard. Loki betrays and kills Laufey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He does go to them. He's like, "Hey, I can get you in," but it's all methodically set up to be a trick. Because the whole point of killing him right as he's about to kill Odin is so he can like, oh look, I saved the day, yay! And now I am justified in killing all of them somehow.
Loki being Loki.
Yeah. It's funny how here it's like at this point like Thor is like better and he's not just gonna like go and waste them, but now Loki's the giant killer where it's usually it's the other way around considering well actually yeah, Loki is half giant. Well actually no, full giant in mythology, I think. And Thor is half giant. But still he just hates all giants and probably subsequently himself.
Mm-hmm.
So oops, I gotta scroll this up a bit. So I'll let you pick up here. I'm always talking too much.
Oh no, you're doing good. You're doing good. You don't have to worry. But yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, because there's not much left, I just realized. So yes, next Thor comes and kicks Loki's ass. And he ends up having to shatter the Bifrost Bridge because the thing's been Loki like puts the sword back in and then freezes it. So it's like the thing's just like the room is like spinning and like not even Thor can break into it. He just destroys the bridge and they almost fall into the abyss, but Odin manages to wake up moments before runs his ass down there, manages to catch them, but Loki's just like, no. He just lets himself slip away, so it does end up marking the first quote quote death of Loki.
Yes, one of many. You just
Yes.
you just
Yeah,
changed your skin.
let me see. Death one. He dies in the next one, then he wait. Yeah, he dies in the next one. Next Thor. He dies in I wouldn't be surprised if I forget if he faked one in Ragnarok. And then he truly died in Infinity War. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
But yes.
So
Yeah.
so Loki's got major daddy issues.
Oh yes, yes.
I think that's what you could sum up this entire story at.
Yeah.
But
yes. There's a feast after to celebrate Thor's return and everything. You can see just how by his like body language and how he talks, he is in like this mere like couple of days, maybe a week, how much more humble he is versus the beginning of the movie where he's like, I'm gonna go kill these guys for fun. And now he's just so much more solemn and serious.
more humble, and yeah, we get to see his character progress more and more.
Yes.
We get to see him become way more worthy of the hammer throughout.
Yeah.
So one of the things about the Thor's hammer with the worthiness, and so that technically that enchantment's on there that entire time, even up until Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, so it's
'Cause-
not on the hammer until this movie. So beforehand, it was just whoever owned it could summon it back.
Right.
Which, as we will see, it was originally forged for Hela, which was stupid. But I mean, it's different. You know, it's their own little continuity. They do things a bit differently and such. So whatever. And then it was set aside, and then it was given to Thor. So there must be some enchantment, like whoever Odin, at least when he was alive, wanted to probably just like, oh, just say this to the hammer, and you're the new owner, so you can summon it. But he still has like, he's like the system manager or whatever. What is it? What is it on a computer? And he's the administrator, so he can just like summon it from whoever. It doesn't matter.
I see.
Yeah. And yeah, it stays on beyond everything else. Like even after Odin dies, the enchantment still remains, which
Interesting choice.
Yeah, it still goes on. But anyway, the post-credits scene has to not actually be canon because of what it shows. So it shows Selvig meeting with Fury, and he's like, "Oh, what do you want me here?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, we got this magic cube. It's the first Infinity Stone that we're actually seeing in its actual form. We did see the drawing in Iron Man 2, but this is the first time we're actually seeing it in lack of a better term, in the flesh, in the stone, I guess. Although we wouldn't know until Infinity War for certain that this was an Infinity Stone. Everyone thought it was the Cosmic Cube or just something.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were theories, but I never really saw anything myself. However, there's a bit where it's like Loki appears like in a reflection or something, and he just says like, "Oh, this should be interesting" or something like that. And then Selvig just goes, "Oh, this should be interesting," implying that he's controlling him, but like he's not showed up on Earth and controlled Selvig with the scepter, so like they kind of just disregarded this thing. I don't know if it was because Avengers 1 was already being written, or if the writers or Joss Whedon by extension were just like, I don't give a shit. We're gonna have him controlled at the beginning of this movie. So this is basically just not really canon because it doesn't make sense. Like, why would he be in control in advance? And also, how is Loki projecting an image of himself across the fucking universe? Like, that's literally not possible for him. So, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, everyone's still in the same places. It's just he can't have been controlled in advance.
So,
yeah.
I wonder how many of the post-credit scenes are non-canon.
I think a bunch of the other ones are actually okay because they kind of just showcase a scene that, like, I'm trying to remember which one's which. There was someone later on. It might have been Ant-Man, but I might have this wrong. There was not a cut scene. There was a post-credit scene that was literally just a scene from Civil War, but it came out like beforehand. So it might have been Ant-Man because that came out like right before, I think. It could have been, I don't know. I don't think it was from Age of Ultron. I think that was something else. I think that one had like 2 or 3, but wait, no, Age of Ultron did not have a post-credit scene. I specifically remember that. I'll tell the story when we get to the Age of Ultron episode, but it was kind of funny. Anyways, closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts, I think it was a charming movie to an extent. Like, it was cheesy, it was like it understood, like it was a comic book, it didn't take itself in too seriously. I think a great example of it was a scene we didn't mention was when they were in the diner and Thor just thinks that he's in Valhalla or some shit, and he's like another and throws the mug onto the ground, and everyone's just like, whoa.
Yeah,
That
I forgot. Yeah, that was the thing
he's
he did
very
earlier.
Yeah, it's like it goes from like him being like this powerful, reckless god to him being a fish out of the water to him being a humble man. Like it's a as far as like Marvel origin movies are, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Also, I forgot to, now that I'm thinking of that. So the Dr. Donald Blake like fake ID thing is actually, if you don't know, a reference to the comics where it's a little different. He's actually like, I mean, in some comic incarnations, he's like actually Thor, and then in others, he's just actually a guy named Donald Blake who found the hammer and like effectively becomes Thor through that.
Oh,
So that was a nod to his alter ego
that's
in
nice.
like the original comics.
That's cool. So there's I wonder how many little references there are throughout the
Oh,
movie.
there's tons. I just don't know them all. But like I've heard of some things here and there. But yeah, I only knew that because I believe like I had like a book about like a bunch of Marvel shit, and I remember reading that, and for some reason that just stuck with me. So as soon as I heard that in the movie, I'm like, "Yo!" It was that DiCaprio meme, like, whoop, there it is.
With the cigarette in your hand.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, we need to see
that's
that
the
movie, by the way.
oh yeah, that was, I think that's
The
Wolf of Wall
Departed.
Street. Wolf of Wall Street.
The Departed.
Oh, I thought that was Wolf of Wall Street this whole time. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll have to watch both.
I think both are Scorsese movies, right?
Probably, I don't know.
Don't quote me on that. Let's
Yeah.
see. Departed.
But yeah, speaking of, I won't be adding it to this because this avatar like has a
Yeah,
lot of
Scorsese.
stuff. Um, but probably on like my Rindo one, which you guys would know that I used one in Bioshock, Cheese, and what else? Um, oh, Resident Evil 3, the first part. It's that little anime thing. It also has the red hair. I like the red hair theme. So like you could almost different creator, but this could be like the grown up version. she grew up and she became like a battle hardened badass.
Yes.
Um,
That's
but what I was going to add is I have some assets that I'm working on adding. One was an actual Thor hammer. It's on a different model, but it's a little broken. I have to use the new version. But another thing I got was there's this little add-on you can get that's like a cigar, and you can pop it in your mouth. You can pull out a little lighter and light it up, and
nice.
like it actually slowly like will burn away over time. So I got to add that, but I'm gonna have to make multiple copies of Windows with like the different little additional assets that I've gotten,
Mhm.
because you don't want to put too many on the same one because it makes the model too file size heavy.
Right.
So yeah,
Good shit.
maybe for the Dark World, my window will have a Mjolnir.
Oh yes, and you can show it off.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what wraps it up.
Yeah.
Nice movie, simple, but yeah, it does. MCU movies in general get better going forward for the most part
And then
for a
they hit a
while.
wall.
Yes.
I
Uh,
I would say after like Endgame and stuff is when it starts going up in the air, where it's
yeah,
like
it's kind of like it.
coin
You get
toss.
something good, and then you get something that's kind of just meh. Like I'm gonna predict. Like I enjoyed Captain Marvel, which that came out before, but the Marvels just. Mm, I'm not feeling that one right now. I'll probably see it, but I'm just considering I didn't like Miss Marvel, and then like the other character they got like seems interesting, but like she's just like a side character in WandaVision. Like I'm not terribly excited. Like also it's like you have flexible girl with magic bracelets. You have another person that can like just shoot like energy beams, and then you have someone who does the same thing but is like 100 times more stronger. Like,
Hmm.
what are you two gonna do? She's good. She doesn't need help. Uh,
They're just the moral support.
yeah.
Got the pom poms and shit. They're like, you can do it.
Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. This was a pretty long discussion. I don't know. Maybe these won't be as short as I was hoping.
Yeah, I
So,
think it's
but we'll get through it. We'll get through it in time.
yeah, because the thing is like we were thinking of it pretty like form like almost like a formula where we're like we're going to talk about this and this, but the thing is we we tend to trail off, so it's
Yeah.
like takes a little
Also, like
longer.
I had a lot of notes on different things. So
Yeah.
this fucking just stop doing the wrong face, please. All right, yeah. I'm gonna yeah. Let's that's it. The episode's over. Goodbye.
Yeah, get out.